Welcome back to H-Log Gaming. In this video, we're going to go over my final 151 team and the score I got. I didn't really have enough time to fully kind of test it and stuff like I wanted. Full disclosure, I will be linking to Oddwin's video down below because without his video, I wouldn't have been able to get this. I did have a similar idea, but there's one key thing he did that really made this team possible. So I'm going to link to his video down below. And one thing I did different that I think might have helped my team, if you do watch his video, he'll say, he kind of used the weapons he had. So he might have tried this as well, but he didn't have the time either, it seems like. As you can see, though, I got like 65.7 roughly, and he got like 82. Part of that was I didn't really get to fully test Beowulf's weapon as much as I wanted to. I had the Thunderbolt with attack percent, and I only had it to level 10. I don't know if crit damage would have been better as the secondary stat, so I would have wanted to try to fully level both of those to test it. So my original team, I did not have Shamash in here. I actually got him after I beat 151 the first time. So kind of my initial team, because it's how I also beat 150, was essentially this team with Hippolyta as well. So I had 3 defenders for the healing. And the key difference this time, though, was I had a much better weapon on Drac. I think I had it the first time, but it was only level 10 as well. I had it fully maxed, and you'll see there in a minute what it was, and that really made the difference, I think, for my team, as well as because of that weapon and the armor I use, which is the idea I got from Odd One, that mitigated, AoE damage by 15%. I forget the name of the set, but well, let's just go. Let's just take a look. So it's this set. I forget the name of it, but it mitigates, essentially AoE damage. And when I initially thought it, I just thought, that's not going to do a whole lot. But my brain kind of was, I don't know, stuck in like flat stat mode instead of percentage mode because it's a mitigation of a percentage. So even though every time Fafnir uses that ultimate, the damage goes up, so does the mitigation because it's a percentage based mitigation. Had you gotten a full set, you do get a percentage chance to reflect a certain percentage damage. I would show all this, but I was literally doing this on my phone away from my computer, which is why I took screenshots just so I could give you guys something. I know it's after the fact, but maybe this will give you a little bit of that Godforge itch you've been missing. But also the key difference here, so I have this maxed, increases all sources of outgoing healing by 45%. So on Drax's core skill, he puts a mend out. And as far as I know, this affects that mend. So it doesn't, you're getting almost 50% more, which is pretty good, right? And as you can see, I have this on his weapon as well, which helps with healing. I tried to get a lot of HP on everyone just for survivability. I think because of this, the 45%, I never really saw my health go much below 3/4. So had I had the time to really play with this, I would have definitely kept this on there because it helped too as well. But I would have really tried to, I don't know, up his attack, crit percentage, crit damage just to bump my score up. But as you can see, the accuracy helped. I got 304 accuracy, so I was landing those bleeds no problem. And then the additional healing. And then next we'll have Shamash. Again, I put this on him because I wanted HP. As you can see, he has almost 70,000 HP. And again, the Isolde passive for the healing. And like I said, I never really went below 3/4. Oh, let's go back to, I wanted to show that real quick. Sorry, I got to zoom in. As you can see, I did get the 500 turns. It took almost 45 minutes. This was literally the night before it ended. I think by the time I finished this, there was only like, I don't know, 5 hours or so left on the alpha. So I didn't really have time to grind and like mess with stuff. Plus, I was pretty dang tired. I just wanted to go to bed because I had to get up early in the morning. In fact, I had to pretty much get up when this ended, so I only got about 5 hours of sleep. And I think at the time when I looked, I was I don't know, 128, something like that. Probably dropped since there was quite a few hours left. People probably got in their last minute scores, but better than the 26 I had. But anyways, back to, well, we already saw this, and again, the 40% HP just to give him more health. Here, because it was flat defense, that's one thing I would have liked different. If I could have got a defense percent, I still would have put this on Heimdall just for the, HP attack and defense, give him more defense. And again, you put him in the last slot because of some of the issues with the retaliate. It wasn't working right. Something to do with the Solde passive on defenders. So the order I had it in was Shamash first for the initiative. I don't know if it'll show. Yeah, you can't see it here, but his lead is sort of, I think it's 20% initiative increase. So he was the lead. And then I don't remember if I had Drac or Beowulf. It doesn't really matter. It was either Drac or Beowulf, then Beowulf. And then I had Brunhild and Heimdall. So they didn't really use the retaliate because of that air, but the first three would. So you got a bit of extra damage there as well. And like I said, had you got a full set of this, you get I can't remember, it's like a 25% chance to reflect a certain amount of damage, which a full set of this is kind of like a Green Knight imprint. I don't remember his percentages exactly either, but it's kind of like a free one of those. So I don't know, had you coupled that with the Green Knight passive, would you get even more? But I also don't really know who I could have put that on. Maybe tried it on Brunhild. I was doing pretty good at staying alive. Like I said, it never went below 3/4. And I think that was because of the healing on Drax's weapon being pretty well increased from it. As you can see, though, I did get decent defense, over 6, so his shields weren't too bad. And like I said, this was attack percentage and only got to level 10. I would have liked to have maxed that out and compared it with crit damage to see which one would have been better. Oh, and here's a key thing too on him. Since he was doing single target attacks for everything, I know it's 80% reduced, so it's only 1.2% max HP when you do the math. But with his counterattack from the boss doing the disables and the debuffs, or rather just the debuffs, I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I'm going off of memory. This is a few days later when I'm recording this. Yeah, I don't think the boss does any disables, just debuffs. But either way, I was counterattacking a good amount, which also did some additional damage. So had I had this buffed all the way up, I don't even remember what it goes to. I think it's 10%, so then you'd be 2% enemy max HP, besides his core and ultimate, which also do enemy max HP. But when you do the basic, it does not, but you are getting that max HP with this weapon. I did get double on here. That honestly wasn't intentional. It was just because I was farming this gear to test this strategy after seeing Oddwin's video, and these were honestly the best pieces I had for him. As you can see, I did have over 100% crit rate and crit damage. Obviously, I would have tried to up the crit damage and the attack had I had more time. Honestly, I think it was just a max HP doing most of the damage and sort of the bleed, and then Drax alt. Whether or not he is better than the starter, whose name I can't remember right now, Guang Yu, there we go. Guang Yu also has Drain, so his max HP is kind of conditional, whereas with this weapon and Beowulf skills, they're not. So I don't know. Obviously, I did a lower amount than Oddwin, but I think had I got this weapon built up and maybe got his attack up more and played with the minimum amount of HP that I needed on everyone, I probably could have got a score higher than I definitely would have got one higher, right? Because I would have been doing more damage. But I think I could have beat that 82 that odd one had with this. But again, the starter Gong Yu isn't a bad choice either. And I would say, if you are kind of thinking, oh, I could replace the, bleed aspect with what's his name, Achilles, or I did try a team earlier too with that werewolf dude. I can't remember his name, Volka something. Because I wanted to see if his core ability to lock out the ultimate, or it has a smaller percent chance to lock out the ultimate, but it has a little bit higher chance to lock the core. That didn't seem to be landing. I don't know if it was an accuracy thing. When I tried it, his accuracy was around 240. It just didn't seem to be working. I did try it on other bosses. It seemed to be fine, so maybe it didn't work on 151. But my point was, if you swap out those other bleeds, you lose the heal that Drac has on his core skill. And like I said, I think with that weapon, that's what really kept me alive, and this mitigating the sort of AoE damage. And then finally, Brunhild, I had her counterattacking. Oh man, I'm trying to remember. I should have took more screenshots. Sorry, guys. So forgive me for that. But I think she definitely has an attack down. And I think I did this because on her basic, I think is how she does it. So when she counterattacks, she has a chance to land it. Um, Obviously, I could have, sort of lowered her HP and got her more attack, and then some of it would have been converted and still got the accuracy to land that debuff. So that's something I would have played with as well. So I would have essentially tried to give everyone a bit more attack and maybe get their crit rating over 100, and then even try and max their crit damage as much as I could with sort of getting the min HP. I don't know how much I could have lowered it. Like I said, I didn't get to test it at all, but that's sort of what I did. If you like this video, I know it's after the fact, but like and subscribe. And for those of you that have done those in the past few weeks with the alpha, I really appreciate that. I think I'm at like 60 subscribers now, which is, I don't know, feels pretty good to me. I know a lot of people got a lot more during this time, but any increase is a positive to me, so I'll take it. I guess down below, let me know what your final score was, how much damage you did, and kind of your strategy, or even if you want to list the team out, I can probably get an idea of what you were trying to do just based on the champs. This has been HLock. Thanks for watching. Bye.